Alright, so I'm just an idiotic, stupid dog, and this is like, what do you call Helsinki syndrome? When your abductor has you, he manipulates you and he dicks you so long, you think along the ways that he thinks. It's beautiful. It's a wonderful thing. I don't know if it's Helsinki syndrome. It's another kind of syndrome, but it's where you think, it was the thing where, I don't even know, Patty Hearst. Look up Patty Hearst. Her defense was, I don't know if it's Helsinki. It might be not Helsinki. It might be something other. It's like a syndrome where you identify with your captors, your manipulators, your abusers, and you start to side with them and think they're right. You must be wrong. Your whole world view is incorrect. You should side with them. It's pretty pathetic. I'm an idiotic, stupid dog. I'm not falling for that bullshit. But what I want to say is the producer is manipulating me. He's cajoling me. He's denouncing me. He's insisting that I do things the way he says to do them. So this is a wonderful thing. So anyway, Chris Delilah, no one knows. Chris Delilah, the producer, all right, the producer says, I have to do a Chris D'Elia take. And the producer says, where's the producer come up with this bullshit? The producer is so conservative, yet he must have grew up in a hippie commune because he's so liberal. He has a conservative adherence view with a liberal taint. Not the kind of taint that's right below your perineum. It's the kind of a taint that, your view is not, it's not conducive to reality. So anyway, Chris D'Elia, he says, my producer says that with regards to Chris D'Elia, the world's been waiting for years for the proof that he's a pedophile. Waiting for the ball to drop. The world hopes that all these women he's abusing aren't just regular straight old women, but that they're underage women to boot. It's not bad enough, according to the world, according to the producer, that these women are they're been abused or manipulated or however they've been abused, but that they're also underage. According to the producers, my producer, not producers, the producer, he's an idiot. And I'm an idiotic, stupid dog because I stick with this guy. I forget what it's called. It's not the Helsinki syndrome. It's something like that, where you identify with your captor and you start to think the way he is. Believe me, I'm not thinking that way. But if I wasn't willing a little bit to go along with him a smidgen, I wouldn't be making this post. I don't think that anybody should be given the benefit of the doubt, myself as an idiotic, stupid dog, about being a pedophile. The producer thinks that, comedians are, what do you call it? Statistically, they are inordinately condemned for being pedophiles. But whatever. Who knows? Maybe statistically, comedians are more pedophile-esque, more serial killer-esque. Who knows? But the producer says the world wants them to be underage. The world wants them to be, victims. The world doesn't care about women. The world just wants Chris D'Elia to be guilty of being a pedophile, and the world wants him to go down as being a pedophile. So anyways, I researched it. I Googled it. D'Elia. And these are some of the words. It's hard because I'm developing a new prototype about, as to how I could, It's a cone. I used to have cones that the rabbit developed for me. Look it up. It's there in the backstory. It's all evident. The rabbit developed. The rabbit was a genius. You look it up. In June, we're going off the air. We're just going to have the dog backstory. It's not the dog backstory. It's a dog prequel. It's the prequel of the dog's life. And it began with the rabbit. Before I could even talk. I didn't talk back when the rabbit talked. It's really crazy. It's really zany. It proves the universe has a guiding force because the rabbit became a talking rabbit, and years later I became a talking dog. I was an idiotic, muted, unspeaking dog when the rabbit was a talking dog, and the rabbit was developing apparatus for my paws so I could use my devices, my cell phones, whatever, my iPads. And so today, I don't even know why I brought it up. I didn't even know how I did it. It was a stupid idea. I said, I want to have a cone that fits over my snout so I could peck like a woodpecker trying to peck into a log to pick out a juicy grub. I'm trying to develop something. It's a prototype. It's stupid. But, it's like I can't, whatever. Just bear that in mind, that Chris D'Elia, when I was trying to get information on this guy, it came up in blurbs. It came up in, what do they say, boldface. It came up in bullet points. There wasn't nuance. There wasn't any explanation. It wasn't what you would say, a clear picture, a broad span. It wasn't the whole thing. It was bullet points. So D'Elia, what came up in, and the only thing I came up with was nude photographs, Kismet, I don't even know why I wrote that, constrained situation. So a woman accuser was saying something about Kismet and that she found herself in a constrained situation and that D'Elia had groomed her and asked her for nude photographs. One of the woman's names was Wolf, I think. I don't even remember now. I don't even know what this was. I wrote down as an aside a nice piano ad rampant progression. So this case boils down, or my take, my whatever you say, my contribution is that's how weak it is. You have things going on that I can't even explain, that I don't even know, aside, quote, it's in parentheses, nice piano ad rampant. Arrangement, nobody knows. A progression, some kind of piano, nobody cares. And then the next thing was, same way Wolf found D'Elia other women. Who knows? Maybe it was a thing where Wolf was finding other women for D'Elia. Maybe it's saying that D'Elia was an example of how other women were groomed, or she found her situation to be the same. I don't even know. My wording isn't correct. My notes are useless. If you're writing notes with a pencil stuck into an apparatus that's not even designed to have that happen, and the apparatus was basically, like you're supposed to be a toucan or a woodpecker. What do you call those woodpeckers? An imperial woodpecker? An inferior woodpecker? Some kind of woodpecker that's like, I forget what they call it. A woodpecker looks like Woody Woodpecker. He's big, he's blue, he has a red head, he has a sharp beak, he can peck on something. That was the original design of the apparatus I was trying to develop for myself. That was the original prototype. But this woman, Wolf, I don't know if she's going to sue. Hopefully she sues. Hopefully she makes some money. She should get some money off this yahoo, this doofus, this yahoo. But anyway, oh God, the notes are just so they're just Delilah. Other women found him expressing himself to women. I don't even know what that means. Adherence, wolf, stayed, disparaging. Uh, so something witnesses or messages on Snapchat. So this poor girl, she was, and okay, this is what it says. All right, this is, I can't really see too much of it. Internalize, configure. That's so bad. Internalize, cougar or. No one knows. Internalize, choreographer. Choreographer. No one knows. But the bottom line is, and we're ending it with this, that one of my notes that I could decipher for my own self, trying to scrawl it with a pencil wedged in. It wasn't meant to be like this. It's like the NASA astronauts on Apollo 11 coming back with duct tape and, whatever, vacuum hoses, figuring out how to fly back from the moon on the wing of a prayer. That there was disappearing messages on Snapchat. That's what it boils down to. Why the fuck? This guy, Chris D'Elia, why are you sending disappearing messages? I never sent a fucking disappearing message in my life. I wouldn't think about why it would be valuable for me to get to send a disappearing fucking message. Disappearing fucking messages are for pedophiles. Whoever brought that up or invented it was a fucked up, skeezy, skanky, screwy scanandino. He's somebody that you would not want your sister or your female cousin or your divorced mom to date. If you have to have a disappearing message, something is fucking bad wrong. Chris D'Elia, he only wanted to send disappearing messages. I don't trust this snake in the grass, this bozo, this Kanorskino. I don't trust them. You don't have to send. And Snapchat, somebody should drag Snapchat underneath this hanging ledge of sand, wet, clinging sand, and they should yodel till the sand falls down like an avalanche and collapses on the inventor of Snapchat. And then they should sit Indian style right next to him while he's mostly like 2/3 of his body's avalanche covered with sand and he smothers and he can't breathe. It's like a crucifixion by sand, not a crucifixion by a crucifix, but a crucifixion by sand. And they should put this bitch out of his misery. Why did he develop a message that goes to somebody and then it disappears? There might be, in a very limited, wondrous, beautiful world, there may be a slim, tiny sliver of a reason why you should have that. In most cases, it's so pedophiles can groom people and then try to not get caught. Snapchat and whoever bought Snapchat and whoever invested in Snapchat and whoever paid $1 billion for Snapchat, they are some weird, wackadoo motherfuckers. Listen, you don't have to have any of your messages disappear unless you are a sinister, fucked up, evil derivation of reality, a derivation of what's good, a derivation of what's trustworthy. You're not with the flow, you're not in the groove, you're a sleazy, skanky scum. So, whatever. If you have to have your message that you send to someone disappear, take it from me. The dog, it ain't right. There's a bad wrong. I could sniff it out from 16 miles away. Whatever. It's all right. Don't worry about it. Just remember, you were told.